Kill the baby. Can you imagine hearing those words screamed as you were being brutally attacked? For one pregnant mother, this nightmare became a reality. She said she'd been stalked for weeks, and then in the early mornings of January 15th of 2026, the threats exploded into violence. This is a story of her terrifying ambush, the shocking footage that captured it all, and the desperate search for the people who targeted her and her unborn child. Gianna Lacey is a dedicated caregiver and a mother of two from Racine, Wisconsin. At 25 weeks pregnant with her third child, her life revolved around her kids and her job, where she spent her days helping others. But in the weeks leading up to the attack, a shadow had fallen over her life. Gianna reported being stalked by a woman from a past relationship dispute. This wasn't some random act of violence. It was a targeted campaign that was about to turn horrific. It was around 7 a.m. on January 15, 2026. Gianna had just finished her shift at a group home and was walking outside to warm up her car. What happened next was caught on a Ring camera. Two hooded figures, a man and a woman, are seen sprinting towards her. One of them is holding a metal baseball bat. The camera's audio is just chilling. You can hear her screams. The moment the ambush begins. They just immediately knocked me to the ground, Lacey later said, starting swinging the bat, stomping me with their feet. The assault was focused and unbelievable brutal. As Gianna lay on the ground, doing everything she could to protect her pregnant stomach, the attackers allegedly yelled things like, "Kill the baby," or "Get the baby." They beat her over and over, hitting her face, body, and stomach with the bat before stomping on her. It was a merciless attack with a clear, horrifying goal. After the attackers took off, a bruised and terrified Gianna Lacey managed to crawl to safety and call 911. She was rushed to the hospital with bruises all over her body, including her stomach. For days, she and her unborn baby were watched closely. In what feels like a miracle, doctors report that both mom and baby were stable, and she was out of the hospital by January 19th. While her physical injuries would heal, the emotional trauma was another story. She says the attack just replays in her head every time she closes her eyes. The Racine Police Department's Violent Crimes Unit is on the case, treating it as a targeted attack. They're poring over all the doorbell and Ring footage that shows the suspects running from the scene. Gianna was able to identify the female attacker as the same woman she said had been stalking her, but she didn't recognize the man with her. As of now, no arrests have been made, and the police haven't publicly named any suspects. However, they said they expect to have updates soon, which could mean naming suspects or even making arrests. The potential charges are serious, possibly including aggravated battery and attempted feticide, given that they specifically went after a pregnant woman and her baby. The assault left Gianna unable to work, which is a huge blow for a single mom who was the sole provider for her two kids. Her world, once centered on caring for others, was turned completely upside down. A friend mentioned how scared she is to return to work, knowing she has a long recovery ahead. In response, her employees started a GoFundMe on January 16th to help cover medical bills, rent, food, and supplies for the new baby. Feeling unsafe even in her own home, Gianna has already installed new security cameras and changed the locks. "When you are pregnant, you feel like you're safe," she said. "That's your safe zone. Nobody will touch you, but it's not the case here." Gianna Lacey and her unborn child survived a calculated, vicious ambush. While she's now recovering, the hunt for her attackers is still on. Her community has rallied around her, but the sense of security for this mother and her family has been shattered. The search for two people who allegedly screamed, "Kill the baby," while carrying out their attack continues. What are y'all's thoughts on this case? Let me know respectfully in the comments below. And make sure you subscribe for more updates.